I'd like to call this meeting of Palmyra Borough Council to order. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for the armed services. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And then may we please have roll call.
Counselor Andrews,
Present.
Counselor Catalani,
Here.
Counselor Flegel,
Here.
Counselor Coroli,
Here.
Counselor Rydell,
Here.
Counselor Touche,
Here.
Counselor Shear,
Here.
Mayor Miller.
Here.
We have a full house.
Okay. Just a reminder to please silence all cellular devices during the meeting. Thank you. And also, council members, if you haven't already turned your microphones on, please do so. And that takes us to special visitors. We have no one scheduled for tonight, so that takes us to public comment period number 1. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. Wait till everybody gets signed in. Anyone for public comment? Okay. All right, closing public comment period number 1. Moving on to the consent calendar. Following agenda items will be acted upon by a single motion unless a member of Borough Council wishes a specific item to be voted on separately. Approve the minutes of the April 8th, 2025 Borough Council meeting. Approve payment of all bills listed on the March 2025 detailed checklisting report, and approve the treasurer's report for the period March 1 through March 31, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Takes us to action and discussion items. Road closure request, Palmyra Church of the Brethren, picnic and carnival, discussion on and if appropriate. Suggested motion is to authorize the closure of Arch Street between North Chestnut Street and Hamilton Alley on Thursday, June 19th, 2025, from 3 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in order for the Palmyra Church of the Brethren to host a picnic and carnival event.
I'll make the motion.
Chief, any issues with that?
Make the motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, personnel, Public Works, retain full-time employee. Discussion on, and if appropriate, suggested motion to officially remove Cody Troy from probationary status effective April 28th, 2025, and to retain him as a permanent full-time employee for the Public Works Department.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Resolution 2025-02, establishing Mayor's Park. Discussion on and if appropriate. Suggested motion to approve Resolution 2025-02, a resolution to establish Mayor's Park as a new public park consisting of .29 acres of land located on the northeast corner of the intersection of West Main Street, which is Route 422, and North Lingle Avenue.
Can we open for discussion before we, I have no problem with this. And I understand the reasoning behind it, but I will tell you, I've gotten more feedback on this park than the majority of things that have gone on in this borough. Because I think we can all understand that most of the residents that talk to me about it do not see it as a useful park. There's no parking. It's a busy corner. it's a lot of tractor trailers. I have no problem with designating it a park and developing it somehow. But I'm just amazed. I had numerous residents contact me about it, so.
And I've seen a lot of comments, and for the public's record, it's not the typical park. It's not going to have swings,
Right.
monkey bars, you know, it's a beautification of our western end of town. And I understand we were looking at Mayor's Park because we're just coming up with the name to get, for the grant money. And I sat and thought about it and thought, okay, yes, we want to honor our mayors, but what about our founder, Mr. Palm? What about all the former council members and burgesses that were on here that helped build this borough? And I came up with an idea of possibly naming it Palmyra Heritage Park.
We already have a heritage park.
Oh, we already have Heritage.
Yeah.
And then I also have, you know, Founder's Grove, Legacy Park, something to, and dedicate it to Fred.
I'd almost like to see if we were thinking of some kind of way to honor Fred. I think I'd rather see it someplace where people would see it. You know what I mean? I have no issue with the name either, and it would be nice to develop it so it looks nice when you come in. Number one, I'm not in favor of spending taxpayer money on developing it.
It's the grant money.
Right, and I realize that we do this, and hopefully the garden club pitches in. I just found it not unusual, because people aren't gonna walk there and sit there on benches. It is a crazy busy corner, so. I just wanted you all to know that I've heard from a lot of residents.
If we went further with this and we had the grant, what if the garden club pulls out?
Well, Grant's gonna, I mean, we're gonna have to put up something to, because
We'd
Do
have
they
to,
have
we'd have to confirm that we have match money.
Yeah.
So we'd need probably
Yeah.
some kind of letter of commitment from the garden club before we would even apply, or would have to accompany the application.
Goes well, Roger. DCNR grant refreshment, it's usually a 50-50.
I think that's what they're at now, yes.
So I'm not opposed to any of this. I think it's nice to designate it a park. I just wanted you all to know some of the comments that I received.
One of the elements about Palmyra, and from my perspective, from the mayor's side of the house, is when you come into this town, if you would see that sign or that little park there, it is a place for some people to go to, and you're gonna have some people that'll maybe say no. But what it does is, as they drive in and they see the sign, it gets their brain process into, oh, this is Palmyra, this is a nice place, as we move forward and develop this town. So what you do is, when you do that, the town is considered a lot better place. It then helps to the appropriateness of maybe our retail packages in our town get better, be worth more money, become more desirable. More folks would build like restaurants in, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, when you are looking at these things, you have to look at it from the standpoint of, yes, you think that it's not good, but if you don't name the town, people don't have a clue what it is. But if they see it when you come in here, it is a definite proposal to improving the town and making it better. So you're gonna have some folks that are like, oh, I don't know about it, but you're gonna have a lot of folks that say, man, that is really good, because when you come in, and if you look around all the other communities around, almost most towns have those particularly notifications of their town when you go into it. And it really does build the town. If you don't do it, you become less liked and
generic.
considered low.
Many
Well,
years
but-
ago, there was a wooden billboard.
Pardon?
Many years ago, there was a wooden billboard on the east end of town.
Yes.
That's no longer there. But that used to be kind of a
Yeah, it
welcome
helps
to
the
Palmyra.
spirit.
Can't even,
Well, and
I
technically,
vaguely
and
remember what
I'm
it
not
looks like.
arguing the fact, I agree with you. I think it is a nice piece of property to develop and welcome people in, but, I mean, Hershey doesn't have one, Palmyra doesn't have one, Cleona doesn't have one, Anvil doesn't have one, Lebanon's got a little 3x3 sign. That's not to say we shouldn't do it. I have no problem with with developing it somehow. Again, not interested in spending taxpayer money on it.
Well, this has
but-
nothing to do with us developing it right now, though, right?
Right.
This is
Right.
just designating the
Right.
area.
Right.
Yeah. So I only brought it up so you all knew that people were concerned about it being used. But that's up to them.
You know,
wanna use
if we go forward with the park thing and the idea, what would really the parking then be like, for people to park their
Yeah.
cars and?
There is
Or is
none.
it really just gonna be walking? Cause that's the other thing. And I think the traffic there, that's like, I think it is a good idea as long as it's grant money, it's not taxpayer. But then the parking though, where would the people go? And I would hate for accidents to happen. So that would be my,
There's space for a couple spaces off of North Avenue, right at the 90-degree corner. There could be
Okay,
a few spaces put in there at the top of the park.
okay.
We don't know what we can do with it until we designate it a park. So that's the first.
And it doesn't cost anything to designate it a
Correct.
park?
Correct.
Could we, even if, just out of the blue, in the future, we decide we're not gonna develop, we're not gonna do anything with it, could we sell it? Even if it was designated a park?
Probably could, sure.
Okay, so, then what does it hurt to make it designated as a park? It's basically
Right.
almost like a
It
zoning.
doesn't hurt.
So, as long as we don't spend any money on it.
Any other discussion? Because I'll make the motion.
Anybody else? Discussion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Okay, that takes us to the President's report. Hope everybody had a happy Easter. That's all I've got. Takes us to the mayor's report.
Okay. We were talking about that. I think it would make the town better. So we want to make Palmyra a good place to live. It would be really more desirable as time goes on. Unfortunately, we've had, for Easter, a little bit of sadness. Pope Francis had passed away. It's a very sorrow time, particularly for Easter. So I wanted to let the town know, if you didn't know that the Pope has passed away. So a lot of recognition for that. That's why our flags out front are half. Okay. Another question I have is, anybody on the Palmyra Committee a member of the Lebanon County Republican Council, on our council Republican Committee? Do we have anyone here that does any of?
I used to be.
That are currently on it?
No.
Okay. Because I know there was a element, we have a primary coming up. And on that primary, we have candidates that are on there that, I find it interesting, Lebanon, the Republican group didn't ask anybody. They come up with these names, and I have no idea who they are. I know two of them that are on here, and it's Anthony and Matthew here. Marcus, sorry, not Matthew, that's Marcus. So, do you gentlemen know anything about how these other individuals, including mayor, are not listed on that committee? Stanford, do you know how those names got there?
I don't really understand the whole point of this. To me, I think it really comes down to what the people want and what's best for the people, and that will be
Well,
played
that's
out
my
on May
point, is
20th.
did you have any, was there
Well,
any type
no.
of
Well,
individuals that
if
were they,
the-
did you have
If
discussions?
the
or did
people
you
of the
just
Palmyra Borough
automatically
would
pick
like to
out?
know, then they can come out on the candidates' night and speak to them.
Well,
And they
yeah.
can always reach out, and so we've put that out there.
When is
and
the
this for
candidates'
the-
night?
And this is for the people of Palmyra Borough. I didn't know this would be like an interrogation, because perhaps are you scared or something?
No, I'm not scared. We
No,
bring it
he's
up
asking a question.
because, here's the reason this we brought up, is because you have the Republican committee, who you would think would go around and discuss with all the people that would consider, but these names automatically got put on there, and it's almost communist. You know, that's the way the
Oh,
communists
no,
operate.
Wait a minute.
Because
I
they
wouldn't
didn't
say
go
that.
around and discuss anything, it just, those names are there. So these people that they put on there, I don't see I've never
It-
seen them
it
come
is-
here and discuss.
It is discussed, because I could
And
use,
it-
for example, people in other boroughs, such as over in Myerstown, those
Well, I'm not talking
individuals.
about them, I'm just
But I'm
talking about
I'm trying to give you an example, though, here, Mayor, is that over there, none of those individuals that are running for Borough Council are part of the LCRC. And so what they did was, they heard that they sponsor, they do this with everybody. You know, they're about promoting positivity and uplifting and trying to, how they can support the Republican candidates, you know, with conservative values. And so those 4 candidates got endorsed because they knew about it and they went. Anybody can go and try to get the endorsement.
I'm sorry, I do have a question, because obviously, the Republican committee, whether it's on a district level or a county level, does not go around and ask people. You know, I mean, they can, if they know somebody, they can ask, but I'm a little curious to know how the committee endorsed council people to run, because in all the years that I was on the committee, that has never happened.
It's always been, it's
This
just
is
perhaps,
my point.
perhaps it's never been because nobody went to ask, but it never hurts to ask, and they
Okay, so-
do that.
so
They
you
do
were-
it everywhere in Lebanon County. They endorse other boroughs, other mayor races. They endorse everywhere if you go. It's open to everybody, because that's the type of committee it is.
Question, what's this candidate's night?
Well, the candidates night's open for the public of Pomar residents, Pomar
Oh,
School
it's
Board.
it's a county committee thing.
It is candidates night is put on by the LCRC because they endorse the candidates. And so it's open to anybody in the Pomar area school district. And there will be county officials there, school board, and borough candidates there that are all
Funny how none of that
endorsed.
happened when I was on.
Well, yeah.
You
I'm
never
just
asked,
curious.
perhaps. I mean, I wasn't around then. I probably was in college at that point, but
We were probably in elementary school at that point.
But what I'm saying is that it's open to everybody. If you don't know, then you don't know, but if you ask, you will find out
How do you
information.
know? Are you on the committee?
Am I?
Yes.
He's president of the Young Republicans.
And so, and
So did
also.
you tell the names and ask them to put those names on?
People run. I think a lot of people were very upset with the tax increase of 22.5%, and so people did run. And then, you know, you meet people, and then you kind of go from there. And then they all go, and like I said, it's open to anybody if you're a member or not, so.
All of the endorsed candidates are running on a platform of not raising taxes. That's it.
Right.
That's not.
That's
So that's
the,
generally-
I've heard it from someone
right,
in the
yeah.
Republican
You
committee,
know,
so
I'm
that
gonna
is
be,
it.
I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, I can do this all night, but it really sounds like some fear, and that's fine, but I'm telling you this right now. It's up to the voters, and the voters, you know, what we wanna do is transparency. We wanna keep taxes low, and we wanna stop with some of this spending. And we just want to put the people of Pomar first. Simple as that.
So for the purposes of the minutes, Anthony, I'll ask you this question.
Sure.
So the people who are not endorsed by the Lebanon County Republican Committee are also invited to the April the 28th session for candidates at Rothmel Finkenbinder's community event.
They can attend, but they won't be able to speak because they're not endorsed. But they can attend, it's open to anybody in Pomar Area School District.
Okay, so how?
Oh, okay, I'll be putting
Okay.
that in the minutes.
Yeah, well, not only that,
no, I
how many people,
don't.
how many people in this room right now knew of a candidates forum on April 28th? Besides Marcus and Anthony? You do know that there's some kind of, at Rothermills? Okay, thank you, I appreciate your,
When committees endorse, they do things of this, you know, and that's endorsement. And so anybody can come, anybody here can come, and, you
so
know.
it's a district event?
Yeah, for this.
It's a county event, because
Well,
the
you're gonna have
district
county.
attorney, the Register of Wills,
Okay, so let
anybody
me
that's
ask
running
you
for
another
office that was
question.
endorsed by the county.
Correct.
Was it the district that endorsed these candidates? Or was it the county that endorsed these candidates?
It was the district first, and then the county voted on it.
How does the county vote on a local municipal election?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
How did they get information? What information did they get?
Well, I understand if the district, which again, in all the years I was on, we've never endorsed
Did you ever ask?
That's why
No.
I'm
But-
concerned.
So, but
I
the
don't-
county can't endorse, why would people outside of the district endorse a
They
Palmyra Borough
didn't,
candidate?
they didn't do that, it was the
So it was
district.
district only?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Because that, yeah, they can't do that. And so, I mean, I'm not trying to, it's, like I said.
Well,
and
did
I'll
they
say-
consider any of these folks that are currently, it's ironic, but
Nobody
Jane, Jim, and
came.
myself have
Nobody came.
never been ever considered or put in, never even been told. And that's what concerns me about a Republican Party that says they're Republican, and yet neither of us, none of us were contacted.
What would have been appropriate, and the way things have been done in the past, is when a district is going to endorse, you invite all the
Correct,
candidates.
that's my point.
To speak. And then the voting is done on whether or not to endorse, and then who to endorse. So right off the bat, that is incorrect. Because if there was going to be an endorsement meeting at the district level, everybody should have been
Exactly,
invited to speak.
exactly.
That is
And-
right.
And no one's, I mean.
Listen, I
these
have
other
been on the
folks-
Republican committee
Yeah.
long enough to
Yes.
know the shit, and that's exactly the right word, that
And you
goes
can
on
quote
there.
that.
Yeah, that's exactly correct.
So I know
Here, I want to
this
say
was
this,
all bogus.
I'm sorry you guys are all upset, and I mean,
Not
I am.
upset.
I'm
No,
sorry.
not upset.
Because it really
The
seems like
voters
this.
will
Oh,
decide.
Because I will tell you this, they did the same thing over in Myerstown. They were very upset, and it was in the newspaper
Yeah,
article as well,
yeah,
too.
yeah.
And I wasn't sure if it would happen here, but, you know, I'm open to any questions, and like I said, I'm sorry you're upset.
Not upset, the voters will decide.
That's-
That is what
that's
an
the
open
voters
election
can't
is.
No,
Decide.
But-
that's what I said. They will decide, and
But-
they will learn.
Right from the start, it has been
Mm-hmm.
planned this way.
If you
You
feel that
didn't
way.
invite two council candidates and a mayor's candidate to a district meeting that was going to end up in an endorsement. That is wrong. And I know all the crap that happens.
Yeah.
I know it.
And that's why I said, I've been.
So that was wrong.
I've been for the federal government, I've been through I've been on procedures in the world, and I've been sent to communist countries, and I've been sent to democracy countries. And I'm gonna tell you, I know how the, communists work. And this is the kind of process, because they just eliminate the people out of that. So I can
Tom,
tell you.
I don't
and I've
appreciate
been
that
in-
comment
of
because
course.
because
I
that
said,
comment.
I didn't blame you, I said,
No,
I've
no,
been
no,
to those places.
but you're kind of generous,
All right.
you're
I've been
kind
to
of
those
saying that
places.
and kind of putting it with the committee.
Okay, I can say this.
Well, you gotta watch your comments because some people will take offense to that, and I don't
But I'm just
appreciate
saying,
that.
But it is
because it recognizes how those other countries do it that are bad.
It was an
I can
open,
say
it was
this.
an open endorsement, and if you had
yeah.
an issue, and Jane had all the contact information, Jane knows about all of this, how it operates, so she could have reached out, but she
I didn't
didn't.
even know when the heck the
Jane,
district meeting was.
Jane,
When was
you
it?
just said moments ago
How
that
do you
you've been
know
a
all
committee
about it?
member for how many years? You knew about all of this from day one. So
About
don't,
all of what?
what the districts do, how
Yes,
they
but they've
endorse.
never, in all the years I was on, endorsed a
So you
township
knew who to reach
supervisor.
out to if this was something that you guys really wanted to do. So what I'm saying is, don't blame it all on me. You had all the
I'm
information.
not
blaming it.
You
No,
have
I
all the.
didn't have all the
I'm not blaming it
information.
on you.
You've been on that committee
Okay.
for a long, long time, and you knew who to reach out to if
First
and
of
ask
all,
them
no,
questions.
because I'm not on the committee anymore. So who would I have even known was the chair or when the meetings were? Not only that, if you never have had a township supervisor's race or a borough council race endorsed, how would I even know that they would have done that?
They have been endorsed before
have not.
in
They have not.
any of-
Lebanon County.
No, they
They
Well,
have been.
not that I would have known.
Not in the total.
And you do
14
have
years
other
I've been on
contact information who are committee members where you could have reached
you
out
go
and
to
asked.
them?
Where you could have reached out and asked. But you didn't, and now it's being blamed
I
on
don't-
us for why, Listen, it was open to everybody,
odd.
and all you had to do was ask. Jane, you had all the contacts, you've been on that committee for
I don't
years
have
and
all the
years.
contacts.
You do have all the contacts, you have the people, so don't act like you don't.
Okay, so the district has been realigned, the leaders of the district have been realigned since I have been on.
All the
I am
people
not
that have
privy
been
to
on,
who they
all
are.
the people that have been on the committee are the same people that have been on there when you were there. So I don't know really what you're talking about, that you didn't have any of the
But why would
information.
I have contacted them for something that has never been done in the past?
Why not when
It
you used to be
reeks.
on the committee
It
and you
reeks.
know that they endorse, and you can say, hey.
I'm
mi-
just saying, it
Well,
reeks.
Let me ask you this, probably because in the past, there's never been challenges, there's never been opponents anything like that. It's always been easy elections where, okay, I'm going in, I won, and so there's been nothing where you needed to endorse.
Like when you
Now
ran.
there is.
Like you're doing right now. You're making it so
Like, yeah.
that, oh, just kick those other people out. Don't put them on that list.
I'm not
Let's just
making
bring
it,
them
I'm not
out.
making it like that,
I
but
didn't
this
say
was.
That's how you got elected.
This was the one year where they would endorse because there were a lot of opponents running for the same position. So you knew this, you could have asked, it never hurts to ask, Shane.
Well, they never
Simple
came
as
in
that.
here and sat in this community and said, hey, by the way, I'd like to be on the council.
They don't do
I would
that
like
anywhere.
to be mayor.
They-
Wait a minute,
They
oh,
don't
wait a
do
minute.
that
Of course,
anywhere.
because
Wait a minute.
no one knows the thing about them.
I
You
have
can
been
raise that
involved
before you
in
run. She's
an
been here for
election
plenty of times before she
that
was.
was, we did have more people running than we had seats.
Yeah.
I was a member of that committee then, and nobody bothered to tell me that,
Correct.
why don't we endorse
Well,
somebody?
how long ago was that?
2010.
Well, I was in college
No,
back then, so I would not know.
I'm sorry, not 2010. It was 2016?
Was
trying to
not
think.
2016.
Yeah, it was, because I'll be honest, I lost the election.
That might have been 2010.
No, 2010 was when I
No, it
first
wasn't
got
that
on
long ago.
council. So it was 4, 5 years ago, maybe 2020? I'd have to go back and look.
Well,
So, and I was on the committee, and nobody bothered to say, well, why don't we have a candidates forum and we can endorse?
My point exactly.
It reeks.
Listen, you
exactly how
can, you
it
can say
works.
all you want, but what I'm gonna tell you is, it was open to everybody. All you had to do was ask. Jane had all the info. She
Right.
knows who to reach out to. No, I'm
didn't know
not
who to
lying.
reach
Why
out
do I
to.
have to lie? That is
Oh,
the
yeah, we were
truth.
all
have any
notified.
contacts.
We were all told about it. No, don't tell anybody to make it secret. I mean, I
Not
will
a
say.
Put it up on
secret.
Facebook.
It's not a,
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
not
yeah, it
a
wasn't
secret,
anywhere.
Tom. It's not a secret
I
at
think we
all.
spent long enough on
I'll
this.
tell everybody this. I know that there are people on this council that are good. Jane is great. Jim
Yep.
is great.
Raise
And I can
taxes,
say-
raise taxes, raise taxes,
Yeah, right.
raise taxes,
And-
raise
oh, yeah,
taxes, raise
and-
taxes.
You might
And I
wanna
can
look at
say
my
that I
record.
have not been
Right,
arrested for
but the
DUI.
people-
I haven't been at a bar and been talked about being in a
That's
fight because
great.
I was
That's-
drunk.
That's great,
Okay.
Tom.
Drinking and driving.
My
not
word of
paying
advice to
bills.
everybody that's going to vote
Tom.
is to research
Really
the
at your
candidates.
age.
There are websites out there you can
Truth, my friend.
research.
Really
It's all the
at your
Do your
age,
own
you gotta keep
research.
it professional.
Is it not true? I didn't say anything about you.
Tom,
I'm never
Mayor,
gonna make low
I
blows
just said
about
it
you
wasn't
having
me.
integrity.
I said it wasn't me.
hey, guys, okay.
I wasn't a DUI. It wasn't
Okay.
me.
I'm gonna always
Okay.
keep it professional and I have integrity. I'm never gonna do low blows.
Hey.
okay?
It wasn't
Enough.
a logo. I
Okay.
wasn't talking about you. I was
Enough.
talking about me.
Enough, okay?
Yes,
Please,
I apologize.
it's okay. My advice to everybody out there that is gonna vote this election is to do your research on all the candidates. All 7 of them?
No, 6 council, 2 mayor.
6 council and 2 mayor candidates. Your own research. Okay, that way it's not a he said, she said, just do your own research.
I would also encourage anybody that's going to be voting in this election to not just stop at Borough Council, but to investigate all the candidates
That's what I just
that
said.
are on the ballot.
All of them.
From the county, the state, the
Yeah.
federal, anybody
true,
that's
yeah.
on the ballot.
You
in
should,
and-
your
you know.
research.
you
Yes,
should do
you're-
that
yes.
100%. If you don't, you're just listening to friends. That's not good. You should do your own research 100%. Don't listen to others. Find it out yourself. And if you don't know, reach out to me. If you want to, reach out to any of them. But I have nothing to hide. I will tell you the truth, you know?
Okay? Okay. Anything else, Mayor? Non-election
No,
related?
I'm good.
All right, moving on. Financial report. Everybody have, no, yes. Do we have a financial statement? Yes, I thought I saw it. All right, any questions on the financial statement?
It's right in front of you.
That's the wrong one. I have the piles mixed up. Okay. Any questions on the financial statement? Anybody? Going once, going twice. Okay. That takes us to fire department. Hi. Still standing.
We did have a pretty good fire commission meeting last Wednesday, and made some headway. We met with Rick Haynes, the manager of Amherst Township, down in Lancaster County. He gave us their report from 2010, how they transitioned from volunteer departments to part-time and full-time. So I know Dave's gonna schedule another meeting coming up here after we have some time to review that and get back together. Roger, Beth, do you have any other comments?
Roger had sent out an email to all of us yesterday, today?
Monday.
Yesterday, yeah. Sorry that my days are running together. I don't think all of us got a complete chance to look at everything yet. But we'll let you know.
Yeah, the only difference between Mannheim's situation and our situation is they had multiple volunteer departments serving their municipality. We're here, we have the complete opposite
We have one
situation, so, yeah,
Doing two.
right. So, while the lessons learned would be similar, but it is a different situation.
Anybody have anything for the fire department? All right, that takes us to library report.
You have the library report, and every year, our executive director puts together, one of these for each of the 3 municipalities the library serves on the value to that particular, municipality. The only thing it does not include is, anything internet. Because there's no way to determine if that person's from the borough or from one of the townships, so.
The only thing missing from this report is the value of the executive director.
She's invaluable.
Yeah.
For the
there
record,
is no
she is
value.
killing it. And continue to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have
Just
her.
amazing from where we came from.
She
to
had,
where
I'm
she's at.
chair of the personnel committee for the library board, and she had a glowing review from the rest of the committee.
And for those of you that are not aware, the book sale is running July 12th to the 17th. 12th to the 17th at First United Methodist Church. Looking forward to it.
I always do.
Love that book sale. Anything else?
That's it, thank you.
All right, police report.
Any questions on statistics I gave you? We also had one person retire, or he got vested and then resigned, so he'll get a retirement pension later. We're in the process of hiring somebody. We have about 10 candidates, and half of them are solid people with police experience.
Cool, that is good, wow.
Okay, anybody have anything for the police department? Okay. Rec Commission,
We did not have a meeting this month because of Tina being out.
okay, Solicitor's report.
Only thing to mention is, I had sent you earlier today the briefs that were filed in a letter from solicitor about the liquor license appeal. So all the briefs have been filed, it's in the judge's hands. He'll make a decision sometime after May 2nd, and I don't think there's any time deadline for when he can or cannot do that, so it could be months. So we wait.
Okay, that takes us to zoning and codes enforcement. Zoning hearing board, hearing is scheduled Monday, May 12th for Unit 7 of the Palmyra Shopping Center. I have several concerns. I know Marcus also has some. Maybe some others have concerns as well.
Chief, I sent you an email, correct? Okay, I think I copied you. Maybe I just hit the chief with it.
First thing I noticed was this picture's wrong.
At the shopping center?
The one that is outlined in red
Is not.
is not the correct location.
Well, that's the old Bauer Shoes. I questioned that too, because it said between the
That
hair
is
salon
not.
and
Yeah,
Where
Goodwill.
this
it's in that
arcade is
walkway
going.
going towards the Legion.
The arcade is, no,
No?
it is not.
Oh.
The arcade is going where that arrow is,
Or what arrow?
the other
It's
side.
the empty unit next to
It's where the dog,
dog
the
place
pet
was.
value was.
Yeah, okay.
Well, because it said between Goodwill and the hair salon.
Right.
And I'm thinking that,
If
this
you're
was the old
facing
Bauer's.
Goodwill, it's the store right to the left. It is not the one that's outlined in red. So I don't know how much of a big deal it is, but,
That's my mistake.
oh, okay.
Just trying to give you an
Okay.
idea.
Gave you the
where-
I didn't know if it was like
Just
us
where it's
or if it
located,
was
that's
somebody
all.
else. Yeah, it's the wrong side, Roger, other side.
That's it, Roger. Lashes.
Yeah, because that's the express shop.
Yeah, the old Bauer Shoes.
Right. Yeah, so it's the other side. The other concern I had was on the application. Number 4, under supplemental information. Lawyers and sleepies.
I know, I'm like, somebody
Where did they get
hasn't-
their information?
Somebody hasn't been to that shopping center for quite some time.
Where did they pull that information off the internet? Because that's very outdated.
Yes, it's very.
They're not in touch with what's in that shopping center right now.
But
They
many
misspelled
casinos,
wise.
That's all they care
Well,
about.
and that was gonna be my next question, my question.
Who in the local vicinity is gonna be, I guess they'll hire a manager. It'll be local, because they're from
Scranton.
Scranton, and the
Well,
owner of the.
there's a couple
the owner of the
different addresses.
Mall is Jenkintown.
Yeah.
They're all over though, like in Linglestown, Harrisburg, but it's not good.
So, do they
Is this
do,
something new?
What?
Are these arcades something new?
Oh, no, they're being popped up, just mini casinos, and, there's just a lot of negative, because how can you really make sure that 21 and older are coming in? And, it's not what they're saying, that it's a skill game, because it's not approved by, Pace
I'm not
Matic.
crazy about the hours too, because nobody else in that mall is open till midnight on Friday or
That,
Saturday.
when I read my statement, that might answer a lot of questions.
yeah. Are these gonna be arcades like the arcades that
No,
I grew
it's-
up with?
No, it's
No,
casinos.
no, no,
It's
no.
more-
It's the,
James.
the money in and lose it.
Here, I got you. I got your answers.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna read my whole thing out, all right? So I wanna go on record of opposing the zoning special exemption for Keystone Club Palmyra LLC. The company's based out of Scranton, which is 2 hours, more than 2 hours away, and they're looking to set up what amounts to a mini casino. Right here in Palmyra, labeling as an amusement arcade. But it's not your classic arcade with skee ball, pinball. What they're proposing is a gambling hall fulfilled with Pennsylvania skill games machines that are not made by Pace-O-Matic, which is the only legal Pennsylvania skill game allowed right now in the state. They've been granted by the state for now. And to be clear, Pace-O-Matic has publicly stated they will not provide machines to this company. That means the Keystone Club intends to operate with unauthorized, likely illegal machines. No regulation, no oversight, no protection for players, and certainly no accountability when it comes to underage gambling or addiction to gambling. They're trying to sidestep our zoning ordinance, but the ordinance specifically says a commercial establishment which provides as a principal use amusement devices and/or games of skill or chance like pinball machines, video games, skee ball, and similar devices. That's right out of our zoning. And it's not. It's pure gambling, plain and simple, and they're just trying to rebrand it as an arcade to get through the zoning. I'm not opposed to these skill games. We have them at our Legion. It benefits us greatly. We give a lot back by using them. So does the VFW and a lot of the fire companies that have bars.
So that's a good question. So when you have, if there's a private club that has them, certain percentage has to be donated back to the community.
Yeah.
That would not
No,
be
this is-
true under this.
No.
These
it wouldn't.
guys are all
No,
for
they just pay a
profit.
yearly.
That's what I thought.
They're all for profit, and right now, the legality of skill games in Pennsylvania is still unresolved. It's still at the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, and even if the machines were legal, which they're not, we still be taking a legal risk by allowing them to come into the borough right now.
Yeah.
Because they set up and all of a sudden the state says, nope, you're done, well, now we have an illegal casino within the middle of our borough.
How do you know they're not Pace-O-Matic? I'm just curious, I don't see that.
Because Pace-O-Matic, I've talked to the people through Pace-O-Matic.
Okay.
I've been working with these skill games, I've been helping, trying to lobby for some of these, for the couple of companies that do this to get
Okay.
with the VFWs. I attended one of their meetings the other week, and they flat out said, no, the Keystone
not
clubs,
with
they're not supporting, because they're in it for profit.
And can I ask, cause it's exactly what I thought. I figured it was gonna be the little cash games that you see at certain places.
It's
Mostly
kind of like the
clubs,
ones you see
but-
in the gas
Slot
stations like that,
machines.
but this is gonna be in
Yeah.
one big area where it's
But do you,
unregulated.
I mean, is that, how do you know that for a fact? I just wanna make sure that,
Because if you Google Keystone, they
Yeah,
have
if you-
other locations like in Linglestown.
and they're all like this?
Yeah, they're
Okay.
all like that.
Thank
All
you.
they are is mini casino. You look at the pictures they have online, it's the slot machines.
Well,
It's-
that's what I
it's the-
thought that night I walked past and saw the LED lights, and then I
Yes.
emailed you, and I'm like, we got something coming in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would urge the council to vote no on this because.
Well, that was my
you're-
tendency.
One, they're violating the law alone by using illegal machines.
Yeah, it wouldn't be good for the borough either.
And Brenda, I have a copy of that for you too, if you like it, for your minutes.
Bring a whole whole different element here.
Yeah. No, yeah, it would not be good.
So I hear opposition to the application, so would you like the borough solicitor here representing us in opposition to the application?
Yes, please.
I think so,
Yeah.
Yes, is that a consensus?
yes.
Okay.
We need a motion, or just a consensus?
I think consensus is fine.
Okay, so,
Easy enough.
not to open up a can of worms, but now that makes me wonder if the ones that are in the dollar store on the other side of Goodwill are Pace-O-Matic.
The dollar store
The
at
Express
Londonderry is in North Londonderry
I
Township.
know, the Wise Shopping Center in the old Bauer Shoe. They've got them in there.
The other side, yeah.
Express
and I
Mart.
think, didn't you go in and check on it?
The red spot on the.
There's a dollar store?
So you guys have a list of all the legal
And
machines.
they've got skill games in
I
there.
wouldn't say,
So there's two dollar stores within less
I
than a
wouldn't
month?
say that, I'm just saying,
it's
we
a-
have a
it's
list
a
of skilled
mom and
machines
pop.
in
Okay,
Palmyra
dollar
Borough that
place.
are registered.
Yeah.
And
you
it's
see-
not dollar,
How do they
it's
do that?
cheaper stuff.
My bad.
It's through LCB. They go through the liquor control board with these, if I remember correctly.
We don't really
The
get.
liquor
I'm
control
being
board
honest,
usually
the
does
police
enforcement,
really
just
don't
with
get
like the small
involved
games
in
of chance, that's who's enforces small games of chance.
Oh, LCBC does, or LCBC, it's a church. so-
The LCB.
Yeah.
LCD ATF. CPC. Too many acronyms flying around the night. So just,
It's not ours to enforce. Am I correct? Because it would be the Liquor Control Board. Should be enforcing small games of chance, is what I'm hearing. Or do we need that clarified by our solicitor? Why don't we have the
Yeah.
solicitor clarify that when she comes
because
in?
that was the store that didn't let us know they put them in.
Right, I remember that.
And I put that on your
And
radar
because
when
it's
they
so
came
new,
in.
I don't think everybody understands how it works. Do you have to register with the borough? Who do you tell? I don't know.
Yeah.
Chief, did they apply for a permit?
This new one,
No, the one they're talking about.
pretty sure it did.
They did after I brought it up to
It should be on the
council
list.
then.
Because we collect a tax on them.
We collect tax on each machine, yeah. When they first, when I
And usually your legal ones let
first
you
brought
know
it
right
up then.
away.
I think it was
Do
Michelle at
the
the time.
permits
going out
go
and-
through ours, at this point zoning? Who would pull, who would they go to for his permit?
The amusement stuff goes through the police.
Police department, okay. LCBC.
LCB.
Yeah, I know.
PLCB.
That's why I said
PLCB.
LCBC. Oh.
PLCB. Okay. All right. Anything else on that?
Nope.
Okay. Anybody else have anything else on that? We good? Okay. All right, that takes us to the Borough Manager's report.
One more thing on the zoning hearing board, we've had to find a new zoning hearing board solicitor because our existing solicitor, Steve Stein, had to basically give up his license due to some health issues, so we found a new solicitor. Jeff Clark from, oh boy, Wicks, Wanger, and somebody. So this will be his first hearing.
Oh.
With the board.
Just welcome him in
Yeah.
with open arms.
Yeah. So he'll get to meet Joselle on his first night out.
As well,
Okay. I do have a couple things that aren't on the agenda for me. We got pricing for the new sewage grinder pumps for Colonial Crafts sewer grinder pump that we have maintenance responsibility for. They're basically $2,500 a piece. Obviously, we're not budgeted for this, so I need you to make a motion to approve the expenditure out of the special sewer fund. It would be budget line item 04429-374.2.
And how many?
Just two.
Two.
There's two pumps, so we need two. And then the plan is, this is from Keener Electric Motors. They are going to take the old motors to see if they can be rebuilt. That way we can have a rotating stock.
Oh, okay.
Good.
So moved.
second.
Who's the second?
I'll take it.
Give it to Bruno.
You vote?
No?
Oh, sorry. All those in favor? I'm sorry.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thought I missed it.
No, I was busy writing it.
Road passed.
Second item, we've been informed that our emergency management coordinator, John Breve, for Will Crema, is retiring at the end of the year. So I got an email from John Eberly, the manager of South Londonderry. I guess they're just trying to feel out all 5 members of Will Crema. If the consensus probably is to find somebody qualified to take his place. Otherwise, we'll have to do something else, maybe county level or something like that, so.
I was wondering because I know he's
Yeah,
been doing it for a long
he
time.
has.
Great guy.
So if anybody's interested in serving as the emergency management coordinator for the Western Lebanon County Emergency Management Agency, let us know. Another announcement regarding our chipping collection schedule. Since we're running on a skeleton crew these days, we always have announced to have your chipping out on Monday, and then we will get it at some point through the week. So the guys would try to just bang it all out in, a day and a half, 2 days. That was kind of chaotic, and they've been struggling with that a little bit, so I thought, why don't we try to just run on the collection day? So as we just started it now, so we're just letting everybody know your collection will be picked up on the day your refuse is collected. They can run the route in just a couple hours in the morning, and then that's done and over with, and then they can move on with their day. So, and Elijah told us this morning that it's working really good for them so far, so. So we're gonna try, I don't know, Brenda, we're
Yeah.
talking about doing a robocall to let people know. We'll have information on the website. We'll try to, get the word out the best we can.
And we'll put it in the newsletter.
And the last item is just kind of an informational thing. About a month ago, a representative from Pennsylvania American Water came in, and I wasn't sure what the meeting was about. And when we started the meeting, he proceeded to ask us if we wanted to sell our sewer system. And I was like, what? What? So the deal is, apparently they're looking to do more of this. They just took on York City's. Manheim Township had sold their sewer system in the past. So I knew nothing about this. This is the first for me. So I was like, well, I'm not going to say anything to anybody. I got to do some research. Talk to Giselle. She got me some information. It is legitimate. I mean, you can sell your sewer system and you can use that money for whatever you want to use it for. So The sewer system valuation would have to be, you know, calculated. It's probably somewhere in the range of $9 million at this point, $10 million. The kicker is, and which is probably gonna make this a non-starter, is your
Yeah.
sewer ratepayers are gonna
Yeah.
pay $108 a month. That's this year's rate. So that's basically tripling your
Yeah.
sewer rates. But you would have a pot of money to use whatever you wanna do for it, so.
Well,
Money
the
isn't
thought of
everything.
paying off that five point whatever million dollars is really piquing my interest. But that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because then you have no control over your sewer rates.
No, we would not.
And not only that, another thought is the way they respond when we have water issues and don't want to take care of things right away. We'd have the same issue with our
Well,
sewer system.
I'm just thinking, if they can't tell the fire department when a hydrant
Don't
is
take
out,
responsibility for anything.
what are they gonna do with sewer lines? And what about North Londonderry? Would that have anything to do with?
No,
The
because
treatment?
we own and maintain our collection system.
Right.
So they would just take over what
Okay.
we're doing. It would be no different.
Really somebody'd have to sell me on the benefits of that, that's.
So I just thought I'd throw that out there.
And they could raise rates every year and
I'm sure
raise
they-
them
they
whatever they
will.
wanted to.
Sure they do.
Well, it's for profit. It's
You're
not
right,
for the
right.
benefit of the community, it's to
And
make
from
money.
what I understand, the water company, as a water company, is actually regulated through the PUC. But as an owner of a sewer collection system,
regulated.
we are not a utility,
So
so
they
it is
don't
not
even-
regulated, so they do not have to file
Well,
anything
yeah,
for rate
rate
increases.
increases.
No, thanks.
So I thought the answer would be a resounding no, and that's what
Correct.
I think. So
Yeah.
I
Short-term benefit for a long
Well,
time,
yeah, for
forever
an ever.
detriment.
So I will respond back to him that we are not interested. And I think I've exhausted my list, so that's it.
You think this room was full with the refuse rates?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No. Anybody have anything for Roger?
Oh, I did wanna let you know that, big pile of dirt is laying in the detention basin behind
saw
my,
that tonight.
Yes.
retention basin behind my property. Behind my
We did
house.
send an enforcement notice.
Yes.
I knew when that went out because the snow fence went up. I said,
Yes.
somebody got a letter.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the dirt's
And I
there,
saw
so
the
I'm
dirt
assuming
today.
tomorrow it's gonna be filled in, I think.
Yeah.
But we'll see how long that lasts.
Hopefully a while. All right, no communications. Any other business? Chief? Mayor?
Nope, no, I'm good.
Marcus? Bruno? Jim?
Nope.
Anthony?
Nope.
Roger?
Nothing.
Brenda?
Nope.
Okay, public comment period number 2. Please state your name and address for the record and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Nobody?
All right.
Well, it's been a long time and nobody wants to say hi.
Moving on.
All right. Closing public comment period number 2. Borough Council will conduct its next public meetings on Tuesday, May 13th, 2025, and Tuesday, May 27th, 2025, beginning at 7 p.m. Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.